And I thought, like, when he go to jail, you know, I was just gonna be like, all right, cool, great. But then...
So this message is for my brother, whom I love a lot. It's my little... You know what I'm saying?
Blueface is on the brink of losing it all: his freedom, his fortune, and even his home. Rumors are swirling that the rapper's once lavish lifestyle is crumbling faster than anyone could have imagined. With a staggering $14 million debt looming over his head from a wild Las Vegas shootout and his music career in a nosedive, sources say he might be leaving prison with nothing but the clothes on his back. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Stay tuned as we uncover the shocking downfall of a rapper who seemed to have it all until now.
Only a real player will go to jail looking like he's finna go to the Himalayas.
Good luck, man.
It's almost poetic how quickly the mighty can fall. And Blueface's story is a textbook example of how a string of bad decisions can lead to a spiraling downfall. He wasn't just a bystander caught up in unfortunate circumstances, he actively courted trouble. From reckless altercations to shocking legal infractions, Blueface seemed to be on a collision course with disaster for years. Remember that infamous bouncer beatdown at Skinny's Lounge back in 2021? Blueface and his crew didn't just rough the guy up, they brutalized him. All because the bouncer dared to ask for ID, and when he didn't immediately recognize Blueface, the rapper decided to prove his fame with his fists instead of his words. That wasn't just a one-off lapse in judgment, it was the beginning of a pattern. It wasn't long before Blueface was embroiled in another scandal, this time for a shooting outside a Las Vegas strip club in 2022. The details are still murky, but according to sources, the altercation started over a joke that Blueface didn't find funny.
Outside a Vegas nightclub when a white pickup truck drives by. He then pulls out his gun and fires multiple shots in the driver's direction, who swerves across the road while trying to dodge the bullets.
And this is where things really start to unravel. The shooting, which left a man with a bullet graze wound, could have easily landed him behind bars for years.
It's just all been a complete drop of the ball on my end. I have complete lost faith in the justice system.
But in a twist that left many shaking their heads, Blueface managed to dodge the full consequences by pleading guilty to lesser charges. Instead of prison, he got probation, a second chance to turn his life around. But did he? Not even close.
I told you I was coming here.
What?
Whack. Well, yeah.
Got whack.
In fact, Blueface's brush with the law seemed to embolden him. Instead of keeping a low profile, he doubled down on the chaos, breaking the very rules that were supposed to keep him out of jail. His probation violations started stacking up like a bad poker hand, each one more reckless than the last. Whether it was dragging a woman on stage during a concert and ordering his fiancée to attack her, or attacking a fan for simply trying to take a picture, Blueface's disregard for the law was blatant.
Hello, my name is Yamusa. I'm from Burnsville, Maryland, and seeing stuff like this pisses me off because it's like a case of a celebrity going crazy with their ego.
And then there's the financial side of things. Blueface was living large, too large, some would say. His lavish lifestyle wasn't just about flashy cars and expensive clothes, it was about showing the world that he had made it. But beneath the surface, the cracks were starting to show. The $14 million debt he owes to the now defunct Euphoric Gentlemen's Club in Las Vegas is just the tip of the iceberg. This isn't just pocket change, it's the kind of debt that can destroy a career, especially when combined with his other legal troubles. Speaking of those troubles, Blueface's current situation is even worse than anyone could have predicted. His trial keeps getting pushed back, leaving him in a state of limbo. The latest rumors suggest that he could be facing an additional 30 months behind bars, a far cry from the freedom he once enjoyed. And let's not forget the unresolved lawsuits still hanging over his head, each one a ticking time bomb that could explode at any moment.
We want house arrest. That's all we want, is for him to be at home and help with these kids.
But here's where things get really grim. Blueface might be broke. Sure, there hasn't been an official announcement, but the signs are all there. He's been out of the spotlight for over 6 months, and his music sales are plummeting. The once loyal fans are starting to lose interest, and without new music or public appearances, Blueface is quickly becoming yesterday's news. If he ends up serving another 2 years in prison, he could emerge to find himself not just forgotten, but penniless. His lavish lifestyle may have once been a symbol of his success, but now it's a chain around his neck, dragging him deeper into financial ruin.
You have to know what you're dealing with, and never could you allow that type of situation to make decisions, right? That could be that detrimental in your life.
And let's not overlook the rumors swirling about his properties and cars. Reliable sources suggest that Blueface's assets could soon be seized to pay off his massive debts. Imagine that the rapper who once flaunted his wealth at every opportunity might be left with nothing. No mansion, no luxury cars, no jewelry, just the bitter reality of starting over from scratch if he's lucky. In the end, Blueface's story is a cautionary tale of what happens when fame and fortune are squandered on bad decisions. He wasn't set up or betrayed by those around him. He's the one who systematically broke the law, defied the courts, and lived recklessly without thinking about the consequences. Now, those consequences are catching up with him, and they're far more severe than he likely ever imagined. As the days tick down to his next court appearance, one has to wonder, is this the end of Blueface as we know him? Will he fade into obscurity, another cautionary tale in the annals of rap history, or will he somehow claw his way back from the brink? If there's one thing we've learned from his story so far, it's that anything is possible, both the rise and the fall. But right now, the odds are not in his favor. But here's the kicker: Blueface isn't the only one in a bad spot. In fact, his on-again, off-again partner, Chrisean Rock, might just be in an even worse situation. While Blueface is busy fighting his own legal battles, Chrisean is facing the terrifying possibility of spending the next 8 years behind bars.
Okay, so Chrisean got arrested. Chrisean Rock showed up to court Monday to support Blueface, but ended up being arrested on her own charges while she was there. How you go to...
Yeah, you heard that right, 8 years. And what's even more mind-blowing is that until her arrest, Chrisean was the one keeping their chaotic ship afloat, financially speaking. Let's backtrack a bit. Chrisean's been no stranger to the courtroom herself, with a history of legal troubles that would make anyone's head spin. Her most recent brush with the law happened in June when she was arrested in Los Angeles while trying to support Blueface at one of his hearings.
What happened, Christine?
No, they saying I got a whole nother case.
Talk about a loyalty test gone wrong. The cops picked her up on an outstanding warrant from Oklahoma, where she's now facing charges for possession of controlled dangerous substances and failure to have a tax stamp on those substances. The potential sentence? A brutal 8 years. It's like her life went from chaotic to catastrophic in the blink of an eye. Now, here's where things get really wild. While Blueface was out flaunting his lifestyle and racking up debts, Chrisean was reportedly the one paying his bills. She's been holding it down for him, even though she's knee-deep in her own legal mess. According to some sources, she's been covering everything from his rent to legal fees, and even the costs of maintaining his infamous restaurant. Imagine shelling out $15,000 every 2 months for someone else's business, while knowing you might not see the outside of a prison cell for almost a decade.
This, if I can break this on my, like, I'm holding you down, bro. I'm paying your bills.
Chrisean's been pretty open about her frustrations with Blueface, too. In a series of Instagram lives, she didn't hold back, calling him evil and expressing her annoyance at his constant demands and lack of gratitude. She's been footing the bill for his lifestyle, yet he's still giving her grief about going out and having a good time.
Argue with me, and I'm just like, bro, you, bro. Like, what are you arguing with me for? I went outside. Whoa, bro, I'm not cheating on.
The irony is almost too much. She's locked down in more ways than one, both figuratively and literally, while he's behind bars for violating probation. It's like a twisted version of Bonnie and Clyde, only without the romance and with way more legal drama. And then there's the question of their son. With both parents potentially facing years in prison, what happens to the little boy caught in the middle? The thought of a child growing up without either parent around is heartbreaking, and it adds another layer of tragedy to this already messy situation. Chrisean has talked about doing everything she can to avoid serving time so she can be there for her son, but with the way things are going, that seems like an uphill battle. What's even more tragic is that before all this, Chrisean was trying to distance herself from the drama. She'd been paying off fees, trying to clean up her life, and focusing on being a mom. But just when it looked like she might be able to turn things around, she got sucked back into the chaos that seems to follow her and Blueface wherever they go.
Like, I like this time that I got to focus on my son, save money, and just focus on my son.
At this point, it's hard to say who's worse off: Blueface, with his mounting debts and uncertain future, or Chrisean, staring down the barrel of a nearly decade-long prison sentence. What's clear, though, is that both of them are in deep, and there's no easy way out. As the legal battles continue to unfold, one can only wonder if either of them will come out of this unscathed, or if this is the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's most notorious couples. Fan opinions on Blueface's situation are as divided as his life appears to be. One commenter suggests that if Chrisean doesn't return soon, Blue is going to move on without her. This reflects a sentiment that while Blueface may be in a dire situation, his focus might shift away from Chrisean if she's not around, especially with all the chaos surrounding both of their lives. It hints at the fragile nature of their relationship, especially under such intense pressure. Another fan voiced frustration with the legal system, arguing they are literally playing with this man's life right now. They get some sort of twisted pleasure from messing with folks like that. The commenter goes on to criticize the repeated delays in Blueface's trial, labeling the legal process as unfair and exploitative. The View here suggests that the system is set up to keep people like Blueface entangled with probation, fines, and mandatory classes serving as traps to keep them cycling through the system rather than allowing them to move on. So what do you think? Is Blueface doomed to lose it all? Or can he somehow turn his life around before it's too late? And what about Chrisean? Should she continue to support him despite her own mounting troubles, or is it time for her to move on? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay tuned for more updates on the wild world of celebrity drama.